Good day, everyone. So, our topic last time is about Chapter 8, which is entitled Biodiversity and Healthy Society. I divided the class into 4 groups and assigned you to read the article The Politics of Golden Rice by Adrian Zubok and answer the question related to it. So, Group 4, please present and discuss your answers to the class.
Good day. My groupmates and I will present our answers in Activity 1, which is an article review of The Politics of Golden Rice by Adrian Dubok. So we're going to start our discussion.
The first question is, what is the article all about? Dane and I will discuss our group's answer in this question. Golden rice is a patented GMO food designed to address the needs of the poor from both a nutrition and public health standpoint. Golden rice results from a genetic insertion of a source of vitamin A into a rice kernel. This genetic modification raises the vitamin A content of rice, resolving the health issues associated with vitamin A deficiency, such as vision loss, malnutrition, and immune system weakness. Since beta-carotene is normally present in the rice plant's non-edible leaf, the genetic insertion phase is basically allowing the best of the rice plant's inedible portion to reach its edible portion. Rice, as we all know, is a staple in the diets of billions of people worldwide, especially the poor.
These are lessons to be learned from the Golden Rice story, at least to this student of social enterprise and private sector development. One lesson from this example is that patents, when used with moral clarity and for a socially responsible reason, will help an innovation achieve its humanitarian goal. Another possibility is that well-intentioned people who promote a campaign or cause from their base in the developed world, such as the anti-GMO movement, will be better advised to understand the diverse needs and problems that people in developing countries face before pushing their viewpoint on them.
Laura and I will discuss our answer on this question. What is Cartagena Protocol? And why it is said that the foundation of its opposition to GMO crops was initially considered rock, but actually sand. Based on the Convention on Biological Diversity's goal of conservation and sustainable use of biological diversity, the Cartagena Protocol established rules to regulate international transfers of live modified organisms, or LMO. It provides a procedure for prior informed consent to ensure that countries have all the information they need to make informed decisions about importing LMOs into their territory. GMOs have a number of side effects, including allergic reactions, and have long been regarded as a threat to the environment and human health. As a result, biosafety regulations in individual countries have deemed it appropriate to assess the viability of GMOs in contained regulated conditions for any possible risks.
The Cartagena Protocol is what sets the rule to control international transfers of life-modified organisms (LMO) based on the Convention of Biological Diversity, which aims at conservation and sustainable use of biological diversity. It establishes a procedure for prior informed agreement to ensure countries have the necessary information to make decisions about the importing of LMOs into their territory. GMO have some negative effects like allergic reactions, and it has always been considered a threat to environment and human health. In view of this, it has been considered necessary by biosafety regulations of individual countries to test the feasibility of GMO in contained and controlled environment for any potential risk they may pose.
The third question is, what are the points mentioned by the author why golden rice was politicized? Rainier and I will discuss our answer. The points mentioned by the author why golden rice was politicized are: number 1, address the population through the media and media stunts. Number 2, attempt to intimidate government by appeals to popular support and especially involve environmental concerns and intimidate ministers into action.
Write papers in peer review journal which are shame science and where the peer review share their ideology.
The cost of production, maintaining and distributing of golden rice is too expensive for the developing countries that needs it. Since it is one of the most expensive solutions to fix the vitamin A deficiency problem, developing countries often choose alternatives. Golden rice is unnecessary and unwanted technology being peddled by corporations purely for their profit-making agenda. Golden rice will only strengthen the grip of corporations over rice and agriculture, and will endanger agrobiodiversity and people's health as well. Therefore, farmers, consumers, and basic sectors have been campaigning against the propagation and commercialization of golden rice since the mid-2000s, utilizing various forms and actions including the historical uprooting of golden rice field trials back in 2013.
Over the years, genetic information relevant to crop improvement has exploded, and techniques for adding genes from one organism to another have allowed new crop varieties not previously possible using existing crop breeding methodologies. The UN's Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety to the Convention on Biological Diversity, which has 167 signatures, govern research and product of GMO crop to the point that they are useful to farmers and consumers in the most countries. The protocol skepticism is often commonly used for political reasons, whether implicit or covertly. The non-profit Golden Rice Project serves as example of these points.
The fourth question is, what are your thoughts about the article? Do you agree or disagree that politics somehow impede the development of GMO crop technology? Upon reading the article, it could be concluded that the indicated information about the Golden Rice Project seems to be a realistic approach towards the vitamin A deficiency in developing countries whose diets are dependent on rice. The project is said to have supporters in the positions. The rice was genetically modified for the purpose of enriching the species with complex nutrients that are present in one. On the other side, authorities under the agriculture sector, particularly the local farmers, are against the implementation of the project, thinking that these genetically modified organisms could affect the growth of the other crops and biodiversity as a whole. Numerous independent scientific experts around the world have concluded that GMO crops are no more dangerous to humans or the environment than crops grown in other ways, but the idea that there are no further proofs that they are completely inside the biodiversity safety protocol draw the idea within some authorities that GMOs are harmful.
It is really arguable if politics is really preventing the growth of CMO crop technology. To prevent panic, government must improve market control and provide guidance to producers inside the agriculture industry on how to make sensible planting decisions. Taking responsibilities on the production and consumption of crops is under the role of a community leader. This simply explains that the availability of crops, particularly GMO, in a certain community depends on the approval and consent of the authorities within the political industry. As stated, it could be concluded subjectively that politics could somehow impede the development of GMO crop technology.
The last question is, do you agree to its conclusion that society incurs pain, environmental damage, and deaths due to delays in advancement in agricultural science caused by national and international regulations?
This conclusion is really debatable. Consequently, we will explain both the agree and disagree side of this statement. First, I will discuss the agree side while Nicole will explain the other side of it. At some point, we agree on that conclusion. Because as we all know, today's agricultural science become outdated, so it affects our society, especially the bottom country that has a weak economy that cannot afford and study some agricultural and other scientific research that are very expensive without the support of the officials.
We also do not agree on some points of that conclusion. The innovation of new method of agricultural practices has negative impacts on our environment, including climate change, deforestation, biodiversity loss, dead zones, genetic engineering, irrigation problems, pollutants, soil degradation, and waste. Agricultural activities can also have an adverse effect on water quality. Nutrient concentrations, fecal coliforms, and sediment levels can be elevated as a result of poor agricultural practices. Increased nutrient loading from animal waste can cause contamination of water bodies, which can damage marine habitats in the long run. So that ends our presentation. Thank you for listening and have a good day.